Welcome back to ToK Today, my friends. I've been receiving lots of questions about the May 24 essays, so I thought it would be useful to put together a quick essay FAQs video. Now, in this video, I'll cover the following questions. Can we use examples from World War I and World War II? Do I have to use perspectives? Can I argue the opposite to the question? And what's the difference between a counterclaim and evaluation? Do I have to give examples for every knowledge point? I'll put timestamps in the video description for you if you want to jump ahead to a particular question. Let's jump into question 1. Can I use examples from World War I and World War II? So I've received this question mainly from students in Europe and the Americas. Apparently their teachers are advising them against using examples from World War I or World War II. I'm not aware of any specific advice from IB saying that you can't use examples from World War I or World War II. If there are ToK coordinators or DP coordinators who know otherwise, then please get in touch with me and let me know. My email, daniel@toktoday.com. So we can look at May 23 ToK subject report for the latest advice on which examples you can use. May 23 subject report says it's not up to the examiner to infer the connection between the example, the prescribed title and/or the point being made. The example should be explicitly connected and shown to be sufficient to justify a point. If not, perhaps a second example is needed. So this tells us the purpose of the examples. It tells us why we're using examples. The May 23 ToK subject report then goes on to say, although there may not be any inherently bad examples, there are certainly examples that are better in specific circumstances. For example, examples that the students draw from their own studies and their own lives are often the most effective, as the student fully understands the example and writes in a way that sheds light on the point being made. If this level of familiarity is missing, the example is often just inserted and there's no analysis or no consideration of the implication of the example and how it justifies a claim. Examiners often comment that there are lengthy descriptions of examples where the student's voice seems to be entirely missing. So the recommendation from IB is that you use examples that are drawn from your own studies or your own life. Therefore, if you're studying history and you have studied World War I or World War II, then you can legitimately draw upon this as an example in your ToK. But even if you're not studying history, maybe you just read a book or seen a film about World War I or II, which is really connected with you, and you can see a connection into your ToK essay, then you can draw upon that as an example in your ToK essay. Let's move on to question 2. Question 2 is, do I have to use perspectives? Well, yes, the command term is discuss. So you need to discuss a range of different ideas. In the ToK subject report of November 22, the command term discuss is defined as a critical exploration. The ToK subject report says, a critical exploration offers evidence to support the writer's position rather than being a one-sided statement of the candidate's own point of view. There is consideration and evaluation of different points of view. Evaluating a different point of view may come from the candidate pointing out the merits or shortcomings of a particular claim, or perhaps accepting a claim with reservation. This shows both an awareness that there are other points of view and that they have been considered, not just stated. So yes, you need to consider a range of viewpoints or perspectives in the essay, and this can include your own point of view as long as you can justify it using evidence by commenting on the relative merits of the arguments presented. Let's go on to question 3 because it's connected to this. Question 3 is, can I argue the opposite of the prescribed title? Well, again, we come back to the statement above from the November 22 subject report, and it says, rather than being a one-sided statement of the candidate's own point of view, there is a consideration and evaluation of different points of views. So, yes, you can argue the opposite of the prescribed title, but you must consider a range of points of view, including the direction of the argument of the prescribed title. The IB says that you have to show awareness of other points of view. And then they go on to say that this allows one to agree completely with a point of view, or agree with some reservations, or to disagree entirely for stated reasons. Now, those stated reasons would be the relative evaluation of the knowledge argument. Let's go on to question 4, because it continues in the same theme. Now, question 4 is, what is the difference between a counterclaim and an evaluation point? This is a pretty straightforward question with a straightforward answer. Counterclaims are what used to exist in previous versions of ToK that you don't have to worry about. In the current version of ToK, we don't use the term counterclaim anymore. We talk about evaluation points instead. So when writing the essay, you can consider a claim and then a range of evaluation points against that claim. And this allows for a more nuanced response than claim, counterclaim. The evaluation points for a claim could include both the strengths and weaknesses of that claim. Okay, it's time for the final question. And the final question is, do I have to include examples for every knowledge claim and every knowledge argument made? So this is actually a question about essay structure. Now, the IB don't prescribe a particular structure for the essay. It's up to you. You can use any structure that fits your needs and allows you to meet the requirements of the marking criteria. However, you should definitely use an example to demonstrate your main claim and any significant evaluation points made about that claim. You've only got 1,600 words to fulfill all of the demands of the essay, so you need to use examples in a balanced and effective way. What's more of a problem is not the number of examples that people use, but the ways in which they're used. Frequently, we see people writing long, lengthy descriptions of examples rather than focusing on how the example illustrates the knowledge claim or the evaluation of that knowledge claim. So if you want to know more about this and get examples of essay structures, use of examples, evaluation points, implication points, then you can pick up a copy of my ebook, How to Write the ToK Essay in 6 Easy Steps. Link in the video description. Okay, that's it for this episode of ToK Today FAQs. If you have any FAQs on the essay or the exhibition that you would like me to cover in a future episode, then send them to me, daniel@toktoday.com, or use the messenger icon on the toktoday.com website, or just message me through the ToK Today Facebook page. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and if you're feeling extra generous, you can buy me a coffee, link in the video description. Thank you very much for watching. Stay ToKtastic, my friends.